Hey. Hello. Hey, everyone. Welcome this evening to 8 Steps to Wellness. I want to do my roll call on tonight. This is Gladys Peaches Kenney, your faith motivator, author, speaker, and cancer survivor, and definitely the life coach for 8 Steps to Wellness. And before I really get to going, can I get a roll call to do a check in, see who's in the house? Give me your name, city, and state where you are tuning in from. I am excited. I feel like I just need some music in the house or some type of noise going on. Hello. Who's on here on tonight on this busy evening? I definitely want to thank those who are watching and those who will actually watch the replay. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have an awesome topic on tonight. I know this topic is a hot topic. It's a hot topic. It is a hot topic on tonight. Procrastination. Yes, that's what we're dealing with. And I know it's so hot. You know how hot I know it is? Because some of y'all have been wanting to be a part of this class and you have been procrastinating to sign up. So I know how that this is a good topic. All right, we have Miss Nia from Baltimore in the house. Hello, Nia. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Miss Nia is faithful. I appreciate her. She's been faithful. So, how y'all doing out tonight? How y'all doing today? Are y'all ready to learn on how we're gonna actually improve and reduce us procrastinating and holding up ourselves up from going after what we need to do? Y'all ready for that? Who's ready? Put a one in the chat if you're ready. If you're ready. But listen, while we're doing a roll call, of course, put your city and state where you're from. Put a one in the chat if you're ready to talk about tonight's topic on procrastination. But meanwhile, while you guys are waiting, let me let you guys know that I actually have am doing a flash sale. Say flash sale. Yes. I got somebody who's ready. Flash sales. So one of the flash sales is so this package deal, 8 Steps to Wellness, is 8 weeks of online live um, coaching services and classes on various topics on teaching you how to move forward, dare to dream, right? And so the class is being offered for $4.98. However, with me having a flash sale right now, I'm offering the class and it is $198. That is a flash sale. And what is included in that is you'll get all 8 classes. And let's suppose you missed last week, because last week we talked about owning your success. If you missed last week, you will get all of the classes and you will actually get the replay. Like if you can't come to one of the classes, you will actually get the replay. And all those who, of course, if you register, you'll get a chance to during the live Q&A that we have, you'll get a chance to come on live, and when you ask your question or make your comment, you will have the opportunity to come on live in the actual class. And again, any worksheets, any assignments that we have, that all you'll all receive that. Now, let me be honest. I understand for some people, 8 week commitment is just a little bit too long. Okay. I know it might be a little bit too long for you, but for those of you who feel like, you know what? Oh, I see some hot topics up there, like that procrastination class, like tonight, or the owning your success, or you're equipped, or stepping out, it's time to move. You might want one of those classes, and you know that you're able to commit maybe 1 hour or 2 hours out of this 8 weeks. So you get the opportunity to purchase that one class. The one class is only $39.99, and that'll be for that hour course. Okay, you'll receive that one replay. You'll receive the replay for that actual one course that you purchased. Or, but I can tell you the best value package would be you taking advantage of this flash sale for the 198, because this is only week 2. We still have 6 more live weeks available. So take advantage. Don't procrastinate. We're going to be talking about procrastination. Don't procrastinate. Don't be late. Sign up today at Faith Steps 8 at faithsteps8.com. Don't be late. Don't procrastinate. Sign up at faithsteps8.com. If you know a friend, tell a friend. Let them know. Take advantage of this class, of these different classes and these workshops. And again, I understand you're busy. 8-week commitment is too long for you, so you can sign up and register for that one class. So for those who want to sign up for your individual classes, you would need to email me at faithsteps8.com. Excuse me, faithsteps8 at gmail.com. Forgive me. faithsteps8 at gmail.com. You can email me if you want the individual class for $39.99. I will list just a brief the topics: owning your success, affirmations, don't settle, stepping out, you're equipped, again, on procrastination. And the good thing is each class will be for an hour. And if you sign up for the actual package deal, that 198 flash sale, you get the chance to get all the replays emailed to you personally, and you get a chance to come on live. Some people might want to come on live and, get a little cameo, get a little action going on. And so what are some of the benefits of signing up for this 8 Steps to Wellness? One, it will motivate you. It will provide you with clarity. It would help you with to having a sense of accountability. Gain that confidence, gain that courage that you need to go to the next level. And also, you get to be around other people who are like-minded, who are also ready to invest in themselves. It's time to put yourself on the front burner instead of the back burner, taking on the different roles and helping and doing everything for everybody else. It's now time to invest in you. So those are just a few of the benefits that you'll get. And then the different worksheet assignments that you'll get. One of them is one day soon goal sheet, affirmation goal sheets. And in addition to, there are just a few little surprises that happen just by being in the class. So you don't want to miss it. Be sure to tune in, check out Faith Steps 8. And listen, I even have a referral special going on. I have a referral special. If you get somebody to sign up and they pay their full enrollment, which right now that special is, the flash sale is only $198. That is available. You can, again, go to faithsteps8.com and click on the link. Then you would be compensated for that referral. Hello. So you don't want to miss it, but I want to appreciate everybody again for tuning in, for signing up. And we are going to go ahead and get started with tonight's class. Again, it's on procrastination. Okay, I don't want to delay anymore. Let's go. Okay, are y'all ready? Y'all told me y'all ready. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay. Next slide. Procrastination and its impact. All right. Let's go. Next slide. All right. So tonight we will be talking about procrastination, like I said. And put a 5 in the chat if procrastination has been something that has held you back. Put a 5 in the chat. I know I'm not by myself. I can put both hands up and my feet. Okay? I know about that. Put a 5 in the chat. So tonight's objective, we're going to be talking about the definition of procrastination. We're going to talk about identifying procrastination. We're going to talk about what procrastination actually looks like. You know, sometimes procrastination can be viewed and seen in different ways. Okay. And so we're going to discuss what procrastination actually looks like. And we're going to talk about serving, how it serves you. How many of y'all like to be served? Huh? You like to be served? Well, I'm going to tell you how procrastination actually serves you. Okay? Wink, wink. And then we're going to talk about ways to avoid procrastinating. Okay, so we're talking about, of course, defining what procrastination is, talking about what it looks like, different ways in which it looks, how it serves you, and ways that we can actually avoid it. Okay, next slide. So, procrastination is the action of delaying or postponing something, to be slow in doing something that should be done. Ooh, let's park right here. Listen, how many of you had something that you need to do today that you just end up putting off? How many of you put a 2 in the chat if you had something you needed to do today and you end up putting it off for whatever reason you're putting it off? Actually, I'm guilty. I am guilty. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. We are in this thing together. Listen, we are in this together. We are striving and we are moving together. I want you to know that you are not alone. We are taking these 8 steps to wellness together. We are striving and moving together. And let me just mention about move. Move means motivation. Excuse me. Motivation to be an overcomer through victorious execution. So, move is going to be the opposite of procrastination. Okay. Know that when you move, you're doing the opposite of procrastinating. You're not delaying what you need to do. You're actually taking charge and going forth with it. Okay. Next slide. All right. What are some ways in which we can identify what procrastination? What does it look like? Before I talk about what it looks like, put in the chat, what is one thing that you have been procrastinating on? Oh, yes, 5. Yes, okay. Yes. What is something that you have put in the chat? Name one thing that you've been procrastinating to do. What you've been procrastinating on? Put in the chat. Well, well, I think different responses are coming through. Let's talk about what that procrastination might look like. So, when you procrastinate, here are some ways that did you know that procrastination, a form of it is being afraid, being fearful. Did you realize that sometimes when you're afraid, that's a sign of, or are fearful of doing something, that's often sometimes a how what procrastination looks like. Now, I'm not talking about if you have a pit bull, a rockwaller, or something about to chase you and coming after of you. If a dog is chasing you, you might want to be afraid, and I can understand that. Or if you're in a body of water and something is chasing, yeah, a shark is coming, yeah, you ought to be fearful. So that I'm not talking about that. When you have, I'm talking about when you know you have something to do and you're building a stable. Yes. Oh, that's good. Building this. Okay. You've been, okay. We will talk about that. Okay. Building a stable future for yourself. And I'm sure family too. Well, fear. Fear is a sign of is a sign, or that's how procrastination can look. And I gave an example. I'm not talking about you being chased by a dog. If you should be afraid, does not mean you're procrastinating. Okay. Another way is when you are feeling extremely tired, and when you're tired, and I'm not in, there are no other medical reasons for you being tired, you know, um, that can be another sign or a signal that you are procrastinating. Okay. Then you also can, if you are avoiding, keep avoiding doing something, avoiding to the point of you start being busy in a different area. Or sometimes I like to call this kind of, maybe sometimes it could be masked as like overcompensating. Like, excuse me, if you were supposed to help somebody out with something, and you may be procrastinating or delaying helping that person, you might channel your way over doing something else and making yourself busy so that you can avoid that actual task. So that's another form of procrastination. And also, just I mentioned about being afraid, and different forms of anxiety and depression. Those are some other ways in which procrastination tends to show up when you are kind of like unmotivated, and just like, no, or talking yourself out of doing something. Raise your hand if you ever wanted, had a great idea. I mean, great. Like, it was like real good. But then you talk yourself out of it. Put a two in the chat if you talked yourself out of it, or you share that idea with somebody else and they couldn't see your vision, and when they put their negative words on it, it kind of caused you to shrink back. Raise your hand. Right? Yep. Raise your hand. Been there. Been there. Yep. Those are other ways in which procrastination can be displayed. You are delaying. Yes, got it right. Yep. I'm not by my. Yep. You are delaying doing something that you know you need to do, but because of fear, because of it could be fear of rejection, being fear, the fear of being told no. Because sometimes when you're doing something great, you often may need to actually connect with somebody else. You may need to ask someone else for some type of help, support, resource, or what have you, for you to go to the next level. And that fear of being told no, or that fear of being rejected, is holding you back from saying, doing something else. Or somebody told you you can't do it, and you started believing it. You started believing it. So, but I think I'm really jumping ahead, because shifting the mindset. Yep, I'm seeing, I'm getting some responses in the chat. Shifting your mindset, that's next week. So let me rewind and not spill all the tea before it's time, because there's still time for you to enroll into the class. There's still time. So again, just being able to identify, and sometimes it's good for you to recognize that when you have that thought or that idea, and you finding different excuses of why you can't do something, and really that sense of procrastination, that delaying, that holding back, is ultimately, is underlying thing often is that fear. It's often is really that fear, or not having that confidence that you need to go forth and do it. Okay. So I giving you enough examples. You may even have your own. Now, is there an example up here that I have that you would identify and say, well, I think procrastination also looks like this? That might be something that I did not mention. This is not an exhaustive list that I had. And honestly, any examples, and even as far as my teaching, listen, I'm human like you are. Hello. And so, even with my teaching, even with my experience, even with my years of training in my professional as a licensed therapist and licensed social worker, I don't know it all, but I do know something, and I'm an expert in a lot. Okay, but just know, be willing to be open, and I would love to see what does procrastination look like to you if there's something else that I did not mention. All right. All right. So speaking of procrastination, let's talk about how we're even here at this point. This is week number 2 for 8 steps to wellness. And I want to talk about like, how did I get to this point? Okay, next slide. Let me share a little bit. Let me share a little bit of my story. Why am I here? Why am I teaching this class? So I'm talking about procrastination because, one, that was one of my struggles. And let me be transparent. Sometimes, honestly, it's still a struggle. Okay. Sometimes it still kind of creeps back up depending on if I'm doing something different, or just depending on if I have overcommitted myself. Okay. And so this idea of doing this 8 steps to wellness came into my heart and mind about 2017. But let me back it up. 2016, a year prior to that, I was working, licensed social worker, working in DC. And then weeks later, I ended up getting a pink slip. Pink is my glasses. I was told to let go. It was my last day in June 2016. And then weeks later, I ended up being diagnosed with breast cancer. And so the reason I am doing these classes, the reason I am doing what I do, is because I want to give back hope. I want to give back that sense of confidence. I want to let folks know that despite of challenges that you go through, despite of heartache, despite of setbacks, you could still keep going. You could still take 8 steps to wellness to move forward. You don't have to stay in that place. And so, even though I went through those moments, I was still blessed to move. And what published some books, I was able to speak and inspire others, and I'm still continuing to inspire, and I'm still continuing to, again, empower other people to move, to move, and to be motivated, to be overcomers through victorious execution. And so this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I lived through cancer, and my new motto is, cancer didn't kill me, but it's given me life and purpose. And if I'm still here, and as long as you're still breathing, you have a chance to move forward. You have a chance to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and try again. Hello? So we've talked about what procrastination is. We talked about what it looks like. Now, let's talk about how procrastination can serve you. Let's see how it serves you. Let's break it down. We talked about what it looks like. Let's see how it can serve you. Okay, how many of you like to be served? I like to be served. I like to be catered to. You like to be catered to? I like to be catered to. So let's see how it can serve you. And I want to give a shout out to any cancer survivors who are on here. Hello, Pinky Sisters. All right. Hello, Pinky Sisters. And though anybody who's going through cancer treatment now, listen, don't give up. Keep holding on. And for me, my faith and community and getting that support, that's what helped me. So hold on, and don't give up. Okay, don't give up. There's life on the other side. And I just gotta say, we want hashtag we want not cancer. And yeah, let me just say that. But let's talk about now how procrastination serves you. Okay, next slide. Mm, mm, mm. Look at that. Look at the waiter or the butler. Look at him serving. 4 ways in which procrastination serves you. Well, procrastination serves you the 4 C's. One is procrastination serves you complacency. Hmm. Hmm. What are no? I don't even want to age myself. I started to say, well, never mind. So being complacent. When we procrastinate, you know what? We are often being complacent, and there's nothing wrong with being content. Don't get me wrong. Is it's important to value and appreciate whatever state in which you're in, but always be willing to grow. Always be willing to accept room for improvement. When we procrastinate, then that prevents us. I mean, that causes us to just remain like complacent. I mean, remain like stagnant and not growing. And I don't know, have you ever made some dishwater, let's say in the morning, and you procrastinated on washing those dishes and you waited, let's say 2 days later? How does that water smell? How does that water smell? That being complacent and stagnant, that stale water, that that water might have started out fresh, but the longer it sat there, the longer it became just still not doing anything, not serving the purpose. It became stinking and complacent and stagnant. And the thing about when you're stagnant, if you're not moving and doing something, that's just not always good. That's just being stagnant is when something is stagnant for too long, it's like dying. And just know that dying isn't always that physical death. It's not always, oh, you taking your last breath. But when you are constantly procrastinating and not um, a, striving to improve and just being too complacent, then you're just stuck on the same level. Then where's your growth? Where's your growth? We should definitely be growing. We should be growing, you know. So that's one way procrastination serves you. So um, keep that in mind. And I'm talking to myself. Keep that in mind. And then another way it serves you is compromise versus conquering. Compromise versus conquering. Conquering. Conquer. All right, more than a conqueror. So when we procrastinate, what happens? We are compromising. We're compromising. We're settling for less. We are, instead of accepting the best or going after the best, we're compromising because it was like we may be thinking, well, I don't know if I could do that, so I'll just settle for this. I won't go all the way out because I'm not sure if I'll do it. So I'm gonna just stay right in this little circle because then I know I could do that. But no, when you compromise, it prevents you for that chance of being able to conquer and show yourself, and then God even showing up for you. Like, you got to be willing to show up so you can conquer. Because how can you conquer anything if you keep staying, again, kind of going with that stagnant? If you keep staying at the same level, how can you advance? How can you advance and move up? So when you procrastinate, then this causes us to compromise, or versus conquering, versus you overcoming. Like, conquering means you had something, a challenge or what have you, but you made it through. And I'm not saying that it wasn't hard. I'm not saying you didn't have to cry, that it wasn't a challenge, but you did it. That's why when you go ahead and take the task on, and to be I'm trying to think, let me be a little transparent. So this is something I mentioned that this Eight Steps to Wellness coaching program, I procrastinated on that thing. I put it off because I was looking at some of my challenges that I had. I know that I struggle in certain technical, in the technical realm. There's some things I do know how to do, and then there's some areas where it's just not my, excuse me, it's just not my norm, or I'm like, I need some assistance. So I put it off. I procrastinated. And had I did it in 2017, this is now have been 4 years. I would have been 4 years in. But you know what? I excuse me, I can't change that. But guess what I can do? Moving forward. Put in the chat. So I can't change the past. So I can't change the past, but I can move forward. Move forward. So now you can move forward and work on those things that you have been putting off. You can move forward, okay? And I'm sure that's about to show up in the chat that you're gonna put past. You can't change the past, but you can move forward. And that's what I had to do. I had to tell myself, you know what? I'm launching this 8 Steps to Wellness because I know that information that I have to share, my expertise, my experiences, and the information, I know it's going to impart some wisdom, some confidence, some provide clarity, and provide the extra push and determination for you to move. What? Motivation to become an overcomer through victorious execution. This 8 Steps to Wellness is going to have you becoming that, providing that victorious execution to move. So I'm showing up, whether it doesn't matter how many people are on, because guess what? Ultimately, whenever you do show up and you don't procrastinate, it does not always mean your first few times of doing it, it's going to be exactly the way you envision. But you keep showing up and you keep being present. That's what's important. That's what's important for you being faithful for whatever level that you start at. You be faithful at that level, and instead of being stagnant, that'll help you to improve and go to the next level. Okay. Another way in which um, procrastination serves you is confusion. It serves you confusion. Now, I hope by now y'all done caught on that procrastination is not necessarily, I don't think it's our best friend. I don't think procrastination is really our best friend, okay? Because it's causing us to be complacent. It's causing us to compromise, causing us confusion. Now, I don't know if we got any Bible scholars out, but God said He's not the author of confusion. So, procrastination causes confusion. Why? Because when we procrastinate and keep putting off tasks, assignments, things that we need to do. Let's think about your bills. Let's say, rent is rent or mortgage or car note. Those are one of the main things, that you need to do, if you want to secure, be in a nice place. And if you procrastinate on paying your bills, paying your mortgage or your rent or what have you, that's going to cause some problems. You're going to be confused because when the sheriff knocks at, well, you shouldn't be too confused because when the sheriff knocks at your door and letting you know that you have to go, then that's going to cause a lot of confusion when your stuff is being possibly sat out because you kept procrastinating on doing what you need to do, being responsible, doing what you need to do. And then another way in which confusion happens is if you have different assignments that you need to do and you keep putting it off, as it piles up, you'll become like so bombarded. And how do I know? Because I've been there. You've been so bombarded and overwhelmed. And then when you're feeling overwhelmed, what happens? You become anxious. You might feel depressed because you're anxious because, okay, what should I do? I don't know what should I do? And then you feel depressed because you know you need to do all this stuff and you're putting it off, and then you're like, well, now some of the consequences that may come with you refusing to do or choosing not to do what you need to handle, you can become depressed because you're thinking about the natural consequences that may follow. So it can bring on a lot of confusion when you don't handle your business, when you procrastinate, and when you continue to delay. And I'm not saying that stuff doesn't happen. I know it comes up. Trust me. I'm telling you, I know. But definitely try your best to don't keep delaying it and work it out. Do little by little. You eat an elephant, one bite at a time. So put it in your schedule. Put it in your schedule. But hold up, I'm giving you your tips. Let me slow down. The tips is the next slide. Not yet. Not yet. Last but definitely not least, how does procrastination serve you? Causes you to cut out your dreams. It's a killer of dreams. I used to say it's a silent killer, but no, procrastination is bold. It's bold. It can make it real obvious that you're not excelling and executing what you said you were going to do. Or it can make it real obvious that, okay, you look up and you might have started out with certain people and y'all might have been on the same track, but then you look to your right, you look to your left, and those people are way ahead. And not it's not necessarily about comparing, but it's just like you procrastinated, you held yourself back to the point where you're being stagnant, you're not moving forward. So it's causing your dreams to be delayed. It's causing your dreams to be held up. It's causing you that sense of compromise and you settling versus you taking the time to invest, taking that time to pour into that dream. Even if it's little by little, even if little becomes much when you place it in God's hands, but little becomes much when you keep working at it. Keep showing your due diligence. Listen, you can do it. It might take some time, but know that you can do it. So, just a brief recap. Procrastination serves us. Again, y'all know I was being facetious, but I just had to make a little twist. Procrastination is mm, procrastination is con, nah. Procrastination, we don't want to do that. We want to make sure we get on top of that. All right. And I'm talking to myself. We want to make sure we get on top of the things. All right. And we're about to talk about it in the next slide, but I'm going to just recap. Procrastination serves you complacency, calls you to compromise versus conquering. Like you're a conqueror. Can you see my arms? You're a conqueror. Causes confusion. You don't need to be confused. We want you to gain clarity. That's why you're in this class, 8 Steps to Wellness, so you can gain that confidence and clarity. And it cuts your dreams. No, we want you to dare to dream. That's why it's called 8 Steps to Wellness, Dare to Dream. We want you to dream. So let's talk about how we can avoid procrastination and things that we can do so that we can be successful and improve. Okay, next slide, please. First thing, one thing you want to do to help you to improve with procrastination. Are y'all still following me? You still following me? Put a 2 in the chat as long as you still following. I want to make sure we still on the same page, still following. And while we're going over this, the next portion will be the Q&A section. So if you have questions, make sure you have your questions, comments prepared because registered guest gets to come on live. That's the part to have live Q&A, give response or what have you. So, but ways to avoid procrastination, yes, is one, prioritize. Listen, if you have that list of things you need to do, get you a piece of paper, whiteboard, chalkboard, create you a list of what you need to do, and then prioritize it, high to low or low to high. Some people I know, um, they prefer to do the hardest thing first and then knock that out and then do the easiest. Matter of fact, let me do the roll. Let me see. How many prefer to do the hardest first? Put a 5 if you prefer to do the hardest, most challenging thing first. If you have a list of 5 things, do you rather do the hardest first or the easiest? Put a 5 in the chat if you'd rather do the hardest. Put a 1 in the chat if you'd rather do the easiest. I know for me, I'll go often with I'll take the easier thing to knock that out, because the way my brain flows and rocks is I want to see that checklist. I want to see some things knocked out. So I'm that visual person. Like, okay, I knocked this out. I checked that off. And now let's get to the more challenging piece. Okay. But I know from before when I had this did this survey, it was like I think almost like half and half. Half were like they're gonna go for the hardest, knock that out, and the rest would be a breeze. Whereas some others were with me; they want to do the easier part and then go to the challenging part. So while those tolls are coming in, I'm gonna go to the next one. Plan. Once you have prioritized and decided, okay, whether you're going to do the hardest first or the easiest first, plan how you develop a plan of how you're going to execute. Okay, plan how you're going to actually execute your whatever task you have. If it's building a future for yourself, if it's starting a coaching program, if it's writing a book, if it's going back to school, whatever that goal is, prioritize it and plan how are you going to meet those goals. And then that kind of what ties into that is prepare. How prepare? You might need to do some research. You might need to connect. You might need to get you some resources. You may need to get some finances. You may need to hire somebody, or you might be able to do some things yourself. There might be some behind the scenes things that you need to do to help you prepare for whatever your task is. Okay, you might need to hire a coach like me. Okay, to help guide you through the process. Okay, and then the next step, pace yourself. Once you prioritize the order of what you're going to do, you made a plan, you prepared, you did your research and everything. Pace yourself. Pace yourself. Do a little bit at a time, because very few people have in their 24 hours, because we're all given 24 hours, right? Right? Yes. So, but prioritize how you're going to spend your time. Okay, you might spend, out of a week, 5 days out of the week, I'm gonna spend 2 hours on this, or I'll on Mondays that'll be my follow-up day, or Mondays that'll be the day that I call about the school, or Mondays that might be I'm writing 250 words a day if you're working on a book. Just whatever it is, pace yourself so that the other responsibilities that you have won't get become slighted. Slighted, yeah, slight, yes. So that you can have that flow. And then also, last but not least, go ahead and produce. Like, go on and rock it on. Rock that thing on. Repeat. Keep doing it. Keep doing it until practice. Do that thing. And also definitely celebrate, that you're making steps, you're taking strides towards what you set out to do. Okay, so just a brief recap on how you avoid the procrastination. First of all, stop delaying. You go ahead and prioritize what you got to do, high or low, develop a plan, prepare, do your research, do the behind the scenes things, pace yourself, and produce. And what I didn't add up here, which I just say it, pray. Listen, do have somebody who created us, who's higher than us. And listen, I advise you to pray. Pray and ask God for God's guidance to direct you so that you'll know how to do whatever you need to do. That I believe in the power of prayer. If anybody else believe in the power of prayer, you could put a 5 in the chat. Okay? But those are the ways in which we can avoid procrastination. And now that it's time, I took my time. This is now basically like the Q&A. And while we're preparing for the Q&A, um, let me just remind you, for those who may be watching the replay, or you want to tell a friend, like, oh, I saw this, I had the opportunity to see this class or what I have you on 8 Steps to Wellness. Let me just again remind you some of the benefits. All right, I got a witness. Okay, benefits of 8 Steps to Wellness: gain clarity, gain that confidence, have a coach who's full of enthusiasm, who will motivate you. Get some homework assignments. So that's a sense of accountability, so you can practice as you go, and just being in a very inspired and highly motivated atmosphere. And let me just be honest and transparent. Can I tell you that tonight physically, I actually wasn't. I'm not even feeling 100 tonight. Nope, not feeling 100. Physically, I happen to had a headache, but I'm trying to be transparent to let you know, as you are pushing, as you are deciding to move, motivation to become an overcomer through victorious execution. Those excuses will sometimes, naturally, I kind of had a reason to cancel. Not as many folks signed up for my course like I expected. However, it's so important that you just continue to press and push, and don't procrastinate. Listen, just keep doing what you need to do. Um, Let me see if I have anyone, if they're going to be able to tune in for the live Q&A. Check your email or check your text, because we have a few more minutes. I want to give the opportunity for those who would like to join for the live Q&A, um, or either put your comments in the chat. Um, and put a 4 in the chat if you enjoyed tonight's class, if you gained some new information, if you were reminded, because oftentimes when we take classes, it's not that you don't, sometimes you learn something new for the very first time, and then oftentimes it's not that you never knew it or heard it, you were reminded of it. Okay. All right. So let me get the chat. Any questions? Okay. Wait, let me see. All right. Check your email. So you can join the live chat. So again, you can visit Faith Steps 8. This is week number 2. Next week, the enrollment will be scheduled to close on next week. But actually but for those who want to, it was going to close. But I'm gonna leave it actually open because now that y'all have the option to register for the actual class that you want, you can do that. You can register for that actual class for just $39.99 for that 1 hour class. Um, and the on next week the topic will be shifting your mindset, shifting your mindset, because what you think makes a world of a difference on how far you can and will advance. It's so important on shifting and what you're thinking. Are you having that stinking thinking? Stinking think. Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm glad you. So some feedback that they enjoyed great class. Can you share maybe one or two of your takeaways that you got out tonight's class? Because we have 4 minutes left. We some folks might be a little camera shy tonight, but that's okay. That's okay. I want to hear some feedback. Maybe one takeaway that you got out of tonight's class, and if you're looking forward to shifting your mindset will be next week on the 15th, and I'm excited. And then also and then we'll be having Don't Settle, Affirmation, It's Not Over, and You Are Equipped, and Stepping Out. And the awesome thing about these titles coordinate a little bit with my first book, Stepping Out on Faith, Dare to Dream. I don't know if you, in case you don't have your copy, it is available on Amazon, and it's also available on my website as well. If you order from my website, the treat that you receive is an autographed copy by yours truly, Gladys Peaches Kenney, your faith motivator, author, speaker, and cancer survivor. And so um, I don't see any more comments and anybody coming on the live chat. I'll go to the next. I want to definitely thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you for watching the replay. And for those who don't already have the free download of my first book, Stepping Out on Faith, Dare to Dream book and workbook, that was published 2 days after my first surgery to remove breast cancer. The chapter on procrastination and stepping out. Because honestly, once we push past our excuses of procrastination, of fear, doubt, and unbelief, then we can step out and do what we've been called to do. And then lastly, I just want to let you know also my book, Hayden's Happy, Sad, Sometimes Mad Feelings. This book was published last year during 2020, during the COVID, the pandemic, when a lot of people were struggling with anxiety, uh, depression, and especially our children. So this book helps children learn how to cope with their feelings, learn how to deal with bullying, and learn different inappropriate ways to address how they feel, and then teaches them how to walk in confidence and boost their self-esteem. So that's a great read. That's also available on my website as well as on Amazon. And it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you on next week. And you have a blessed and amazing week. And remember, it's time to move. Move, move, move. Motivation to be an overcomer through victorious execution. Don't procrastinate. Don't be late. Sign up today. Tell a friend. Okay. But it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. This Gladys Peaches Getting Your Faith Motivator. God bless you. Bye bye.